On World News Tonight, an extraordinary admission from President Bush. He takes responsibility for the government's failures after Katrina and wonders whether the country is prepared for another disaster. The Senate begins grilling the nominee for Chief Justice. John Roberts says he respects the precedent of Roe v. Wade, but refuses to say whether he agrees with the landmark decision on abortion. The congressman so critical of the relief effort in New Orleans. So why did he use vital resources trying to save his own property while so many of his constituents were stranded? And the simple answer to the goals of so many parents, the enormous benefits of eating dinner with your kids.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight. Reporting from Washington, Elizabeth Vargas.
Good evening from Washington. It's been a very busy day here. We'll get to the fireworks at the crucial confirmation hearings for Judge John Roberts in a moment. But first, President Bush was here at the White House today after returning from the hurricane zone. For the first time, he took ultimate responsibility for the federal government's failures in the wake of Katrina. Mr. Bush also admitted what people all over the country have been saying for the last 2 weeks, namely that there are serious problems with the way the government responds to disasters. Our White House correspondent Terry Moran is traveling with the president and joins us from New York. And Terry, that was an extraordinary admission.
It sure was, Elizabeth, and an extraordinary moment in this presidency. George W. Bush has never said anything like this before. He's a man who does not like to look back or admit mistakes. He did both today. Appearing with Iraq's president, Mr. Bush, in what seemed to be a difficult moment for him, acknowledged his administration's failures and accepted a share of the blame.
Katrina exposed serious problems in our response capability at all levels of government. And to the extent that the federal government didn't fully do its job right, I take responsibility.
And then, when asked directly if, given the failures during Katrina, the U.S. government is prepared to respond today to a major terrorist attack or disaster, Mr. Bush could not say yes.
Are we capable of dealing with a severe attack or another severe storm? And that's a very important question, and it's in our national interest that we find out exactly what went on and so that we can better respond.
The president's rare expression of contrition comes as his public support is hemorrhaging badly, even among his base. 57% of Americans now disapprove of his performance as president, according to the latest ABC News poll. And that negative view is up across the board. Among Democrats, it's up 6% from its average level this year. Among independents, 8%, and among Republicans, 10%. Many in Washington are now saying the real problem was the decision to fold FEMA into the new Department of Homeland Security after 9/11.
With Homeland Security, the FEMA mission, I think, really has been sort of ignored. We were pushed off to the side.
But a Democratic architect of the Homeland Security Department says the plan is sound, the execution flawed.
It could be that FEMA belongs right where it is, but it needed better leadership and, in the years before, more financial support.
By acknowledging all of the problems and taking responsibility for them, Mr. Bush has found one point of common ground with his fiercest critics. There's a lot of work to be done. Elizabeth?
All right, Terry Moran reporting from New York. Thank you. We just heard the president wonder how prepared is the nation to deal with a major terrorist attack or another huge natural disaster. ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, talked to emergency management experts today, and he joins us from New York with more on that. Brian?
Elizabeth, what the president said today echoes what leading figures in the field have been saying for some time. Despite the billions spent since 9/11, the country is unprepared for most major disaster scenarios. Most of the attention has been on another terror attack, biological or nuclear. There have been frequent emergency drills. But the congressman overseeing domestic preparedness says the government's plans ignore urban realities. How is a city the size of New York evacuated?
I think if there was a dirty bomb attack in any of our major cities, we would be very unprepared.
If there were a smallpox attack, the government says it now has enough vaccine for everyone in the country. But a study by the New York Academy of Medicine says the government's preparedness plans ignore human nature.
The plans are flawed because there is a real disconnect between what people would actually be faced with and the risks that planners are trying to protect them from.
There are even more questions about preparedness for natural disasters, such as earthquakes. California is considered prepared, but not the Midwest and cities along the little-known New Madrid fault line.
We're talking about hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of fatalities. We're talking about an event that is certainly in the Katrina class. And whether any state or local government is ready to respond to that, an event that comes without the warning we had with Katrina, I think that's the kind of thing that can keep you up at night.
And many officials say the federal government has been slow to recognize a new and potentially greater threat, a rare and deadly strain of flu, now in Asia, but threatening to become a global epidemic and hit the U.S.
We could be dealing with a situation where 1,500 people a day could be dying of influenza, with a large number of those people being children.
There's no vaccine, and the U.S. has been well behind most industrialized countries in getting supplies of the one medicine that actually works against this rare flu.
We're not even close to being prepared in this country.
U.S. officials have belatedly recognized the danger of this flu strain and are now moving fast to secure the needed medicine. But other countries are ahead of the U.S. in line, and there will be no major deliveries here until after this winter's flu season, Elizabeth.
All right, Brian Ross, thank you. In the hurricane zone, a milestone today. The New Orleans airport reopened for limited commercial service. But there was very disturbing news from the Louisiana Attorney General's office. It said the owners of a nursing home where 34 people were found dead have been arrested and charged with 34 counts of negligent homicide. They are accused of not evacuating their patients. The official death toll from the hurricane is now up to 652. Next door to New Orleans in St. Bernard Parish, the situation is still very dire. It was located right next to an oil refinery and a levee, both of which breached. 70,000 people lived there, and last night they learned they may not be able to go home until next summer, if ever. ABC's Jeffrey Kaufman was there.
The streets of St. Bernard Parish that only weeks ago overflowed with life are now deserted, except for a few abandoned dogs. The floods here reached the rooftops. The receding waters have left behind a thick sludge, a noxious mixture of seawater and crude oil that spilled into the streets from a nearby refinery.
You can tell how toxic the materials are because all the plant life is basically dead.
One of the few residents left behind in St. Bernard is Dr. Brian Bertucci, the local coroner. He has debris in the chandelier and a foot of oily mud on his floor. Everything in the family home is ruined.
This has little pieces of knickknacks we've collected over the years that were special. As your memories are here, and obviously we've lost those. Now we have to make new ones, I would assume.
And so will virtually everyone else who lives or lived in this parish. Officials say between the oil spill, the floodwaters, and the wind damage, virtually every one of the 27,000 homes in this community will have to be bulldozed.
Every single member of the St. Bernard Parish Sheriff's Office is homeless.
St. Bernard is a close community, mostly working class, mostly white. Thousands of its residents have taken refuge in Baton Rouge. This week, they finally met with their parish council. The reality was sobering.
I know all of you think you're prepared for what you're going to see, but I promise you, you're not.
The residents were warned they may have to wait 4 months before they can even go back for a look at what is left. It is clear some are just going to move on.
I'm not putting up with it no more. It's the third year in a row we had to run from a hurricane.
The contamination in St. Bernard is so widespread that everything that goes in has to be decontaminated on the way out. The task of cleaning up the oily streets and the other streets has just begun. But for years, the refineries have been wanting to expand, and that may be the fate of many of the streets that people here once called home. Jeffrey Kaufman, ABC News, St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana.
Another hurricane is on its way. Tropical storm Ophelia was upgraded to a hurricane this afternoon with winds of 75 miles an hour. After Katrina, people are nervous. In the Carolinas, a mandatory evacuation has been ordered for parts of the Outer Banks. Schools have already been closed in several counties along the coast as a precaution. And when we return, a showdown on Capitol Hill. Senators grill the Chief Justice nominee, John Roberts. So many questions about abortion, not many answers. The congressman in the hurricane zone accused of diverting the National Guard to save his belongings while so many needed to be rescued. And how to keep teenagers on the right path. The surprising benefits of the family dinner.
This is World News Tonight, brought to you by Walmart.
Science teacher, and last year she let us dissect a frog. Cool. I get a rabbit in my homeroom. Let's go, kids. That's so cool. I get a marker, more recess, go on 5.
Ready for school? Good thing Walmart's got all the coolest clothes for back to school at their always low prices. So you can get your kids off to the right start.
Hey! Oh, come on.
This is a good source of fiber. This is a good source of calcium. And this is a great source of both. New Benefiber Plus Calcium. Clear, tasteless fiber with as much calcium as 8 ounces of milk. Benefiber makes taking fiber easier.
Our doctor said our cholesterol's still normal, but it's creeping up.
So we eat better, exercise, and now we take 1-a-day Cholesterol Plus.
The only complete multivitamin with polycosanol and key nutrients to help maintain healthy cholesterol and blood pressure. 1-a-day Cholesterol Plus.
Hey, Max, great party. But won't you get caught?
No, I have them all the time.
How do you get away with it?
Tidy cat.
Ew. Actually, some of your friends are messy.
No, Tidy Cat's cat litter. It's formulated for multiple cat homes and a few extra cats they might not know about. They're home early. Everyone out! They'll never know.
Tidy Cats. Multiple strength for multiple cats.
Where'd everybody go?
Big people, little people, older people, younger people. All kinds of people need medicines but don't have prescription coverage. It's personal to them, so it's personal to us. That's why we offer help at Pfizer Helpful Answers, with all kinds of programs to help all kinds of people get the Pfizer medicines they need. No matter what your age or income, if you don't have prescription coverage, you can save on Pfizer medicines. You may even get them for free, depending on your income. So call us at 1-866-706-2400 to get personal help. One call for your Pfizer medicine and for your family's medicine. Call Pfizer Helpful Answers at 1-866-706-2400 or visit PfizerHelpfulAnswers.com. Because if you don't have prescription coverage, now one call fits all. Pfizer participates in the Partnership for Prescription Assistance, a way to get help paying for your other medicines.
Here in Washington today, the Senate began questioning Judge John Roberts, President Bush's nominee for Chief Justice to the Supreme Court. Almost all the senators said they were trying to get a better idea of Judge Roberts' legal philosophy and how he would apply it as the most powerful judge in the land. There were some important revelations about Judge Roberts' views, particularly in the landmark case of Roe versus Wade. And ABC's Linda Douglas reports from Capitol Hill.
Through hours of questioning, sometimes tense, sometimes tedious, John Roberts was cool and polished.
38 cases.
Immediately, Chairman Arlen Specter pressed him on abortion. Does he accept that Roe versus Wade, which legalized that right, is now the law of the land?
It's been widely quoted. Roe is the settled law of the land. Did you mean settled for you?
It's settled as a precedent of the court, entitled to respect under principles of stare decisis.
Roberts paid tribute to the principle of stare decisis, not overturning previous Supreme Court decisions, and he agreed there is a right to privacy.
The right to privacy is protected under the Constitution in various ways.
But he would not say if Roe versus Wade is protected by the right to privacy, and he refused to answer questions about his views on abortion and on most subjects, insisting they might come before the court someday.
I feel the need to stay away from a discussion of particular cases. I don't want to answer a particular hypothetical. Well, I don't want to comment on any particular case. I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment in any way.
That infuriated some Democrats.
He's filibustering, sir. But okay, go ahead.
No, it's not.
That's a bad word, sir.
That's what we do.
Go ahead and continue not to answer.
Democrats hammered him about things he wrote as a young government lawyer 25 years ago when the Reagan administration was fighting against expanding civil rights laws.
I'm deeply troubled by a narrow and cramped and perhaps even a mean-spirited view of the law that appears in some of your writings.
Roberts would not say whether he agreed with those policies.
Senator, I was a staff lawyer. I didn't have a position.
The answers are misleading, with all due respect.
Well, they may be.
Wait
a minute. They may be misleading, but they're his answers.
Okay. With respect, they are my answers, and with respect, they're not misleading. They're accurate.
Democrats made it clear they suspect Roberts, a devout Catholic, will lower the wall between church and state. One senator quoted John Kennedy.
I believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute.
I don't know what that means when you say absolute separation. I do know this, that my faith and my religious beliefs do not play a role in judging.
Several pressed him to reveal what kind of justice he will be.
Well, is there any room in constitutional interpretation for the judge's own values or beliefs?
You don't look to your own values and beliefs. You look outside yourself to other sources. This is the basis for, the judges wear black robes, because it doesn't matter who they are as individuals.
What would you like history to say about you when it's all said and done?
I'd like them to start by saying he was confirmed.
Now, most believe that Roberts was unscathed, that his answers basically had something for everyone. The Democrats are going to continue to try to pepper him on issues like the death penalty and school prayer and other kinds of rights, but they think that there's very little chance they can defeat him, Elizabeth.
All right, showing a little sense of humor there, too, Linda, at the end of that piece you had there. Thanks so much. When we come back, the congressman who went to rescue his own belongings while his constituents waited for rescue.
Noble competitors, later today, what will you all want? A comfortable ride home. This is the Kia Amante Premium Sedan. People of power, it has power, everything, and the endurance of a 10-year warranty. Now run, swim, bike, no matter where you finish, ride home like a champion.
Claim what should be yours, the Kia Amante, starting around $24,000 after cash back.
If you have indoor or outdoor allergies, ask your doctor about something different, Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair works differently by blocking leukotrienes, an underlying cause of allergy symptoms. And Singulair is now approved to help relieve both indoor and outdoor allergy symptoms for a full 24 hours. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat indoor and outdoor allergies.
I could have blown the whole thing. I was leaving. Something made me turn. The bag was right there. And the deals in that bag are not the ones I saw just a week ago. What did I learn? You got to get your shopping done on closeout standard time once a week. We go to Big Lots, and there are brand name deals all over the place. The closeout price is just like that gooey center. You just want to bite it.
Big Lots. What's your deal today? Here's one. A 900 megahertz GE cordless phone, closeout price to just $12.98.
With all you hear about menopause on TV, from your friends, it's confusing. How do you know what's really true? You talk to your doctor. The best source of information about the hot flashes, night sweats, and other changes you may be experiencing. You ask about diet and exercise and keeping your bones strong. Today, your doctor has more information than ever. Together, you can make decisions that are right for you. Get the facts. Get to your doctor or healthcare professional.
Got gas, pressure, bloating? Tums doesn't treat gas. To treat gas, use Gas-X for fast, powerful relief.
Popcorn? Ooh.
Gas-X beats the bloat, and acids don't.
We asked people why they use Colace capsules.
My doctor recommended it.
My doctor told me.
My son told me.
Your son?
Yes, my son, the doctor.
Stimulant-free Colace capsules, the #1 stool softener brand recommended by doctors.
Tomorrow, are we facing a crisis in education for America's youngest children? Why it's harder than ever to get good teachers when childcare matters so much. Plus, rebuilding after Katrina, what it's like to start over far, far from home. Find out on World News Tonight.
Disasters do bring out the best and the worst in people. Since the hurricane hit more than 2 weeks ago, we've reported a number of times about public officials who have risen to the occasion, done more than expected, even helped save lives, and others who perhaps did not perform as well. Tonight we have an entirely different kind of story about a public official who seems to have spent some crucial time after the storm looking out for himself. ABC's Jake Tapper reports.
On the night of September 2nd, the National Guard took Congressman William Jefferson, a Democrat, on a tour of his congressional district. A Louisiana National Guard truck and at least 6 soldiers were dispatched. On that tour, Jefferson decided to check on his property and recover his personal belongings: 3 suitcases, a box, and a laptop computer, even while New Orleans residents were trying to get rescued from rooftops.
This wasn't about me going to my house. It was about me going to my district.
The truck had pulled up onto Jefferson's front lawn so he wouldn't have to walk in the rising water. Jefferson went into the house alone, a source familiar with the incident says, while the soldiers waited on the porch for about an hour. After the long wait, the truck was stuck and could not drive off. You can still see the tire tracks in the front of his yard. The soldiers signaled to helicopters for a rescue. A pilot aboard a Coast Guard helicopter already containing 4 rescued locals saw the signal and flew to Jefferson's home. A rescue diver descended from the helicopter onto the 3rd floor porch and broke into these French windows.
I don't think there's any explanation for an elected official using resources for their own personal use.
The congressman expressed interest in going up in the helicopter, then decided against it, sources say. The helicopter, after spending 45 minutes with Congressman Jefferson, was able to rescue 3 other New Orleans residents before running low on fuel and having to end its mission. The Louisiana National Guard then sent a 2nd truck to rescue the 1st truck. Congressman Jefferson and his personal items were returned to the Superdome. Both the National Guard and the Coast Guard said they were following orders. A Coast Guard spokesman told ABC News, "You'd have to ask the congressman if it was a waste of time or not." The congressman claims the hour-long delay was because he was waiting for soldiers out rescuing local residents. And he says he never wanted the military escort to begin with.
I did not seek the use of military assets to help me get around my city. There was shooting going on. There was sniping going on. They thought I needed to be secured by some military guards, so they went with me both to the convention center, to the Superdome, and uptown.
And in fact, the congressman is upset that the Coast Guard rescue diver broke his windows. Jake Tapper, ABC News, New Orleans.
And Jake Tapper will have much more on this story tonight on Nightline. When we come back, want to get your kids to have better grades and stay off drugs? Well, try having dinner with them.
Look at that left hand.
Thanks for the jest, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking, so you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly on one of the windows.
Is your leg?
A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
There's more good news for those with arthritis pain. According to a recent survey, orthopedic doctors prefer Aleve over other leading brands for effective relief of minor arthritis pain. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
You've waited, you've dreamed, and now it's finally back. Endless Shrimp at Red Lobster. The only time of year to enjoy all the shrimp you can eat. Don't miss Endless Shrimp right now, only at Red Lobster.
It was really dark. The road was icy.
It was really slippery.
We started swerving.
I thought we were gonna roll over, but we didn't. It stops us swerving and keep the car straight.
Who's gonna help you stay in control?
When things are out of your control.
Someone should.
Stupid allergies. Poor kid can't sleep.
He's all congested from nasal allergies.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to treat and help prevent congestion and other seasonal nasal allergy symptoms.
Let's tell his mom. You go.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
His congestion's better.
But your nose isn't.
For seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one to treat and help prevent congestion. Talk to your doctor.
Me? I'm a problem solver. If there's a problem, I solve it. One problem I thought I'd solved? My acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn. But when I went back to my doctor, he told me over time stomach acid had damaged the lining of my esophagus. He prescribed Nexium. Said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. Nexium healed the erosions in my esophagus. And one prescription Nexium pill a day keeps me healed and relieves my heartburn. So I don't just feel better, I am better. My doctor did say other serious stomach conditions may still exist, and headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium.
Talk to your doctor about Nexium and find out if a free trial is right for you.
Even the best problem solvers need a little help sometimes.
Nexium, the healing purple pill. If you can't afford your medications, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
There's nothing hotter than a Boston Legal season premiere with guest star Heather Locklear.
My God, you're sexy.
I'll have a pair of my pants delivered. You can try and get in them on your own time.
Boston Legal, 2 weeks from tonight, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Finally tonight, the incredible importance of family. Those of us who have children don't need a reminder of how hard it can sometimes be to spend as much time as we'd like with our kids. Tonight, there's some new evidence from Columbia University that the time is worth it. There are dramatic benefits from something as simple as a family dinner. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
Today, only about half of American teenagers say they have regular family dinners.
Who's setting the table?
Like the Boak family of Summit, New Jersey.
We try to talk about daily events, what's happening, at school, what's happening with soccer, and that sort of thing.
What position are you playing today?
The survey suggests this family time may be more important to children than many parents realize. It found teens having family dinners 5 or more times a week were 42% less likely to drink alcohol, 59% less likely to smoke cigarettes, and 66% less likely to try marijuana, compared to teens who had just a couple of family dinners a week or less.
Having that regular meal time, having it that they can count on when their parents are there and for support and so on, that can be very helpful.
The survey also found that frequent family dinners were associated with better school performance, with teens 40% more likely to get A's and B's. That's consistent with a growing body of evidence. A Harvard University study found that family dinners were the most important family events when it came to helping children develop language skills. But for many families, that evening meal together can be a scheduling nightmare, with more parents today working later and more children in after-school programs. Soccer practices, track meets, piano lessons, scout meetings. The Boak family doesn't always have time for a home-cooked meal.
Erica, you upstairs, get ready for bed, okay?
And they may not sit down until 8 o'clock.
It usually doesn't last very long, when, 15, 20 minutes, and then it's off to the homework wars.
But for this family, it's the one time of the day they can count on being together. John McKenzie, ABC News, Summit, New Jersey.
And enjoy your dinners. And that's World News Tonight for this Tuesday. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Good night from Washington.
President of the United States.
The best show in years is First Rate, riveting. Gina Davis and Donald Sutherland, Commander-in-Chief, premieres 2 weeks from tonight at 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
See it, shoot it, send it. When you capture breaking news on your camera or cell phone, email it to Eyewitness News at video@myabc7.com.
Mark your calendars.
I can't believe it's here.
Monday, the 20th season premiere of Oprah kicks off with special guest Jennifer Aniston.
So much fun!
And much, much, much more. Anything can happen. The 20th season premiere of Oprah, Monday.
I can't believe you're here!
Have a good day. See you tonight.
Okay.
Introducing the all-new Suzuki Grand Vitara. You want more out of life? We're giving you the green light. Go.